Hey guys, welcome back. Houston Math Prep here. Our next graphical display of a frequency distribution we're going to look at is a pie chart. Pie chart is a circular chart that breaks the area of our circle up into wedges or regions that represent the relative frequency of a particular category. Pie charts are used for qualitative data, and we label each wedge or each piece of the pie or the circle with its category. So here's a pie chart of the regions for our census data. If you remember, we make that distribution, that frequency distribution in our frequency distributions video. And so here's a pie chart of all the different states, and we can notice by the size of the wedges that South Carolina and Pennsylvania had more data values than, say, South Dakota and Texas, which have smaller wedges. Along with a title, once you've got all your wedges that are approximately relative in shape and size and your labels, you've got yourself a pie chart. So let's look at creating one with our census data. All right, we're going to use our dominant hand frequency distribution that we've created, and we're going to create a pie chart based on that. So we have our frequencies of 1, 4, and 9, one ambidextrous person, 4 people who prefer their left hand, and 19 people who are right-handed. And if we divided each of these frequencies by the sample size, we would come up with these relative frequencies. So when we create a pie chart, after we've given it a title, so let's see, this is a pie chart of dominant hand. What we want to do is we want to divide our circle up into 3 pieces that match the relative frequencies. So depending on how specific you need to be, you may need to work with degrees in a circle, or you may be able to create an approximate pie chart. We're going to go with an approximate pie chart here, and I'm just going to start with whichever of my relative frequencies is the greatest and work from there. So I can see that my right-handed dominant relative frequency is 0.791, or about 80%. So what I want to do is I want to create a wedge of my circle that takes up about 80% of the data, or the space, sorry. So if I think about, okay, half of a circle would be 50%. And then if I cut it into fourths, that would be 75%. So if I think about this much of the circle being 75%, then just a little bit more than that would be about 80%. So if I colored this wedge in all one color, that could represent my right-handed folks. That wedge, or that portion of my circle, takes up about 80%. Now with what's left over, I have left-handed taking up about 17%, and ambidextrous taking up just about 4%. So in different colors, I'm going to say, all right, if this what's left over is about 20%, then 16% is not quite all of it. Here's about 16%. I'm going to color that wedge in green. That would go for my left-handed folks. And then the last little wedge in here that's left over would be about my 4%, and that one would be my ambidextrous. All right, and now I've got a pie chart for right-handed, left-handed, and ambidextrous, or favored dominant hand. That's it for me today, guys. Catch you in the next video.